What's going on, everybody? C4 here. Welcome back to the channel, and today we are here for episode 2 of our Madden 23 Carolina Panthers franchise. I cannot thank you guys enough for all the love and support on the opening episode. Truly humbling, and it really does get me motivated to, I'm always motivated, but I want to make this the best Madden 23 franchise that I possibly can, and I'm so happy that so many of you guys are digging it. We had a lot of good feedback in the comments on that first video that we will address today. A popular one was, hey C4, how do I get that theme song? The Carolina theme song made by Gatsby. All of his links are in the description below. Go check him out, go support him. But August 22nd, he is dropping a download link for that song so you can add to your playlist. I'll keep you guys informed about that. And last thing, just gotta be a little bit of a YouTuber here, guys. If we get 1,000 likes on today's video, tomorrow I will drop another new Madden 23 rebuild. 1,000 likes. I don't do that for my own ego. I do it because YouTube robots seem to like videos and promote videos and push content that gets a lot of likes. And if you want to help me make the most out of this Madden 23 season, that's all I ask for in return. It's just hit that like button, help my channel with the YouTube robots, and I'd very much appreciate it. I'll double down. We get 2,000 likes, because any of my videos get 2,000 likes. YouTube robots really love that. We'll make some Panther themed upgrades to this little box right here. 2,000 likes, and we're gonna get the Baker Mayfield sweat resistant band 5,000. I'll wear that. And also we'll get the Baker Mayfield goggles. Gameplay goggles adds +5 throw power to all gameplay. We will make this 2,000 likes. I will make those investments. Do it for the channel, do it for the brand, do it for the Panthers, do it for Baker. We are here at week 1. I think the format I want to take for this series is going to be 2 gameplays per episode, except today, just because it's game 1, it's the home opener, it's the season opener. I want all of our focus on the Cleveland Browns, plus we have a little bit of housekeeping that I want to take care of from the feedback from the first episode. So we are going to go full balls to the wall here. All focus, all in. All our chips are in on taking down the Cleveland Browns and starting the season 1-0. The first piece of housekeeping is in our settings. These are the base settings that we are rocking. I showed you really, guys, a breakdown of it in the first episode. But there is a current issue in Madden 23 franchise mode that even if you turn dev trait regression off, you still have dev trait regression at the end of the season. Obviously, that's a long ways away. And people were saying Bengal found this out as well. And he took the simple approach of, did you turn it on and off a couple times and then it actually works? But my question to you guys, as I was reading through some of the comments, do you actually want dev trait regression on? Do you want that to be something we have to deal with in this franchise mode? And it'll be full transparency if something bad happens. If someone 100% on our team anyways gets unjustly strucken by the algorithm on their hood and loses their dev trait, we could just as easily change it and trust that the dev trait regression more often than not will be correct this year. Or do we just, remove ourselves from all potential hassle and leave it off? Let me know in the comment section below if you want dev trait regression on or off for this series. Now I kind of want to talk about the fallout of our roster cuts and where our roster stands as we go into week 1. And a lot of people, man, you were upset that we got rid of the fullback. Plus, there is, I remember when I was playing with McCaffrey, the fullback, we run out of the eye. We have fullback sets, so there is value in having a fullback. And I got a suggestion that Devin Asiasi, the tight end that we signed formerly of the New England Patriots, is a very good fullback. I don't know. I'm taking your guys' word for it. So we're going to sign him. I also need to make a corresponding move here. You'll see in just 1 second. We have to free up an additional practice squad spot, so we're going to move on from Spencer Brown. Asiasi currently is a 65 overall tight end, and he gets a nice boost, switching to the fullback spot up to a 68 overall. 6'3", 257, okay blocking. Obviously, he's still going to be more of a receiving / utility fullback than he is an outright blocker, but at least we have a fullback on the roster. We're also going to take this time to hit Kenny Robinson Jr. and sign him to the practice squad because you guys really wanted Denzel Mims on the roster. And obviously the connection between Matt Rule, who coached him at Baylor, it makes a whole lot of sense. Plus, he's a really fun wide receiver, all things considered. You get the storyline of, he's kind of been a bust so far in his career as a guy that was discussed as a potential first-round pick. He's height, weight, speed, personified 6'3", 92 speed, 91 acceleration. We had great catch in traffic, 93 jumping, 92 agility. He's a terrific athlete, and absolutely it will have an opportunity, especially if we get an injury or two, to make some plays for this squad. But the fallout for that, I saw a lot of people, more, I would say 10 plus, which is a lot for a specific feedback that you guys wanted me to throw Robbie Anderson up on the trade block. I don't know if he's burned bridges with, if you're a Panther fan, he's kind of had some stuff. I like him, 6'3", 96 feet. That is a C4 type wide receiver. but I saw enough momentum behind, like, you know, throw Robbie Anderson up the trade block and use Denzel Mims there at wideout, or just see what you can get for Robbie Anderson. I thought all the trade talk would be about Sam Darnold and seeing if we can move on to Sam Darnold. Maybe the team that we're playing, because there's a suspension for Deshaun Watson. Maybe we leave Sam Darnold in Cleveland and see what we can get. I saw people saying maybe trade Sam Darnold to the Seattle Seahawks. We'll see what kind of offers come in. But I thought all the trade talk will be about Sam Darnold, and it seems like you guys are ready for me to ship out Robbie Anderson. I personally like Robbie Anderson. Temple fits with Matt Rule, coached at Temple, but we'll at least see what the offers kind of roll in next week and just what kind of market Robbie Anderson has. Maybe we can make a move and see if that opens things up for Terrace Marshall, for Denzel Mims. And then to make room, we'll also send Steven Sullivan to the practice squad. Also want to keep you guys up to date on our scouting, and we'll take a look at the draft class quickly right here. So I strongly suggest for everybody, when it comes to your scouting, don't, you know, put a little bit of work in. Get a piece of paper, jot some things down. I jot down all of the positions I think I want to try to improve through the draft. Linebacker was a top priority. Secondary priorities was interior offensive line, so guards and centers. Quarterback, it's still worth doing due diligence, even with Baker. Wide receivers and safeties, and then kind of last bottom needs, tight end and defensive line. So then I took those needs, I looked at the strengths and weaknesses of every region that's available to me based off of our draft class, and unfortunately, the one consistent is interior offensive line is going to be very weak. And of course, that's, you know, our second biggest position need, guard and center. It's going to be a tough year. Maybe we'll have to focus on free agency for improving that, but there still is, this looks like a very, very strong quarterback class, as it's a strength in pretty much every single region outside of the Northeast. So what we've done is we have our 2-star scout will be our kind of national. I usually like to make my national scout because that's obviously the biggest scope. My 3-star, but there was no good 3-stars that kind of lined up. So we have a quarterback wide receiver specialist here. In the West region, we're going quarterback wide receiver again. Central, we're going on the offensive line primarily. I got Carter Knight because I want to look at tackles, and if there's a good left tackle, maybe they can slide into guard and kind of fill that priority, that void that we're looking for. In the Northeast, we got safety and wide receiver, more so for wide receiver. Don't need a strong safety. We have Jeremy Chin. And then in the Southeast, this is where I sent our 3-star tier scout, because linebacker for me, I think, is our biggest need. He has that expertise, and right outside linebacker is a big strength. Let's take a look at the draft class. Let's take a look at some of the players our scouts are going to be focusing on in each region. So nationally, this is big picture. We have quarterback and wide receiver. So the good news is that if we suck and we are absolutely going to be in the market for a quarterback, which means we're going to have a top 5 pick. Things did not work out for Baker Mayfield, Darnold, Corral, whoever. They're going to be options, as there are 3 quarterbacks. Dylan Holloway out of Iowa State, Andrew Reichard out of Utah State, and Danny Wheeler out of Florida. All 3 of them are projected to go top 5. So I'm just going to assume that they're going to be studs. They're going to be very good players. So there are going to be options available for us, and we're going to do our due diligence and scout every single detail about these guys. I want to know what they eat for breakfast. I want to know their sleep schedules. I want to know what they smell like, honestly. Wide receivers, we have Darren Telfer out of Washington, Matt Byers, Oklahoma State. We have Meekins out of Florida. I mean, you look at these wide receivers, it's a strong wide receiver class. It's not a major position of need for us, but you could certainly say, and you look at our wide receiver room, there's not a lot of dev traits, so the ceiling for our current wide receiver room is not particularly high. So that could be something, but we're probably not going to prioritize wide receiver. In the next region, we also have quarterback wide receiver again as our focus. So we're going to have full information here on Reichert, the quarterback at Utah State, 5'11", 225. So I'm assuming he's going to be a scrambler. And then we have some Washington Huskies at wide receiver, Darren Telfer, Tyler Tongue. Okay, and Deshaun Hyde, some dogs there for the Huskies at wideout. Moving on to the central region, we have tackle and defensive end. Left tackle is a big position, as well as left end. So at tackle, we have Amari Melvin from Texas, Julius Lowry from Iowa State, and Eric Malone out of Texas as the first rounder. So both left and right tackle for the Longhorns project as a left tackle in the NFL. We have Darren Suttle from Wisconsin here as well. But I mean, more so, we are scouting tackle. We have Aquano, but we're scouting tackle for guys that might be able to make that transition to guard, because left guard is a big spot that I want to try to improve. And I'm really, both those guys don't have a lot of elite length. They're not, 6'6", 6'7" like these other two. Maybe they can make that transition to guard. But then the question always comes, how valuable? Like, we need to get a Quentin Nelson level of prospect for me to want to really burn a top pick at a guard. And for defensive end, we have Emmett Gresham. Not really a scheme fit, 6'6", 305. More so, we'd be looking at like a Kerry Hunt out of Nebraska, 6'4", 250. Or we have on the other side, just not much. So Gresham's more of a D tackle, but I mean, we could always look at improving D tackle. Those are the top names there. For the Northeast region, we have safety and wide receiver. Again, this is more so prioritizing on just covering our grounds at wideout. We have Kevin Zimmerman out of Louisville, Jaron Wagner out of Ohio State, and Reggie Carr seem to be the big dog, and a lot of height there. All those guys are 6'3". Taking a look at the safeties that are going to be available, we have LaMarcus Henry from Virginia Tech, J.D. Bush from Ohio State, and Ryan McCord from Michigan. You know, with Jeremy Chin, I mean, it gives us an option. If we find Jeremy Chin is better as a linebacker for us, maybe we shuffle the lineup around because linebacker is a weakness, but I don't really have any outrageous plans for that right now. And then our Tier 3 scout going all in here on outside linebacker. We also have tackle, so just to see what kind of tackles are in the region, we're mostly going to be wasting that to a degree. But like, we got a first round here in Taj Moreland. Tyler Booth is a first rounder. Rashad Johnson, and really Moreland and Johnson both look like they could very easily be a guard when they transition to the NFL. We have JT Bassey of North Carolina. That's a tackle, but not could be guard. 6'4", 320. We have Owen 6'5", 310, 308. That could be guard as well. So there's some guys there, but more so looking at the outside linebacker spot. We have Eric James. What do we got at right outside linebacker? Jason Schaub. That's unfortunately more of an edge rusher. We're looking for, you know, a run stopper, a pass coverage guy. So Trey Williams, out of all the names we've seen so far, excluding the quarterbacks, this is probably the guy I'm most excited about just for meeting our team need. We have our 3-star scout. So if he's a stud, we're going to find out, and hopefully we can pull the trigger. Trey Williams, maybe a name to remember. So back to our focus on week 1. It is time to take on the Cleveland Browns, and there is definitely an elephant in the room as it relates to the Cleveland Browns in real life and what happened to their quarterback. So the biggest pervert in the NFL, weirdo, creep, whatever you want to call him, Deshaun Watson has an 11-game suspension. I saw through the comments, you guys want that to reflect in this series. Plus, I just, what if he goes off? What if Deshaun Watson goes off? I don't want him winning the MVP here in year 1, knowing that he's serving a real suspension. So I moved Deshaun Watson to punter. He won't get released, trust me. So for the first 11 weeks, the Browns are going to be going with, you know, whoever they want to. These guys, most likely Jacoby Brissett. Maybe if we're lucky, we can offer them Sam Darnold and get some sort of value from them. So our strategy this week against the Cleveland Browns, very simple, especially now knowing that Jacoby Brissett is going to be under center. We need to stop the run, the outside run. Nick Chubb is not going to take this game over. We are not letting Kareem Hunt take this game over. How we want to attack them offensively, well, they do have some good players scattered across the defense. Myles Garrett's going to be a tough one, especially with how the pass rush is right now. And our offense, I mean, that's going to be a massive matchup. Ike Ekwonu, top pick for the Panthers, going in, trying to shut down the best pass rusher in the league. I actually like this one, throwing it short, get the ball out of the quarterback's hands quickly, not target Denzel Ward, kind of work the middle of the field. Make sure we don't get too complacent because they do have JOK, Jeremiah Owusu-Koroma, who can absolutely punish us with an errant pass. But let's get through practice. Shut down Nick Chubb. Let's get the ball out of Baker Mayfield's hands to negate the pass rush and avoid Denzel Ward, and I think we're going to find a whole lot of success. Looking at the first week of practice, we are healthy on the offensive side of the ball. Let me actually get rid of the webcam here so I can see it. And on the defensive side of the ball, we have no injuries. Let's go, outside of obviously the massive injury that happened in the preseason to Brian Burns. Maybe a sign of things to come. Denzel Mims is on the main squad for one practice, and he's already gone up an overall point. He is back at Waco. Might as well. He is super comfortable here. That's definitely one to watch. And then DJ Moore, 88. He's very close to becoming a 90. But we'll keep going. Playmaker, physical. He needs to be our playmaker. We got other guys that can be our physical guys. We're gonna talk with our camp standout, which was Yetur Gross-Matos, pass rusher. We absolutely need to step up with no Brian Burns. We got Barner. We're going young on the other side of him. Inexperienced, developmental. He has to be our guy. So get him 2 combined sacks and TFLs to continue his breakout. I wonder if that means we do that. He gets a dev. He's stuck on that normal. Get up to a star. That could be huge. Now it's time to set our keys to victory. I actually think, honestly, stifling defense. If we could just eliminate everything that they can do with Jacoby Brissett and that rush, we're going to stop the run. We have to focus on not letting Nick Chubb take this one. Nick Chubb breaks away, a couple 50, 60-yard runs. It's going to be a long day. They can control the clock. We stop the run. We make them have to beat us with Jacoby Brissett. We are going to win this game and start this season out 1-0. Speaking of injury, actually, I don't know, the webcam blocked out of Austin Corbett, our 76 star dev right guard, picked up an injury during training. So we're going with Human Blastoise, Deontay Brown at right guard. If you haven't seen that picture, maybe I'll remember to put this in the heading. There's a picture of him in Alabama. At guard, massive human being, looks like Blastoise, one of the best Pokemon ever. But the big injury is, of course, to Brian Burns at defensive end, and I think a lot of us in the comments were pretty much on full agreement. It's going to be Barno's time. He popped, he shined during the preseason. 92 speed, 93 acceleration. We're probably going to have to user him primarily so that he doesn't get picked on if the CPU is. But let's see what he got, man. The kid has his opportunity.
Now, let's meet the NFC champion, Carolina Panthers.
Look, Carolina in my city, I'ma kick it in Wakanda, wear a panther on my chest, badge your honor. Hitting 150 on the dash, burns rubber when you pass, in a swim move, get us to Bahamas. How they gon' talk like a MC, seeing me, I see him, hit a side step and I'm a goner. 1, 2, 3 quarters down, let the C4 sound, cause the chip coming back to Carolina. And they be like, calling it a fluke, when we went to 50, we back now. Kuechly only Luke, we don't need the force for the smackdown. Say you in the field, but you never leave in your area. You end up DOA when you went to Bank of America, so back out. This is all pound for the pound, y'all looking down for the count, making it out of the south, fuck you mean. Notice the talk of the town, Matt got us rolling around, never would step out of bounds, honestly. Where my drums go, homie, where my drums go, let them keep pounding, I load it up and unload, keep it a hundo. Y'all ain't really saints, y'all sinners, 28, 3, 1 more. Carolina in my city, I'ma kick it in Wakanda, wear a panther on my chest, badge your honor. Hitting 150 on the dash, burns rubber when you pass, in a swim move, get us to Bahamas. How they gon' talk like a MC, seeing me, I see him, hit a side step and I'm a goner. 1, 2, 3 quarters down, let the C4 sound, cause the chip coming back to Carolina. And they be like, keep pounding.
And our season, Madden 23, Carolina Panthers Rebuild, is on. How can we stop Jacoby Brissett? Well, I hope the answer to that is very easily. Come on, our whole game plan is to stop 24. Pursuit. Let's hit him. Let's hit him hard. Let's hit him low if we have to. No mercy. No. Wide open, middle of the field. Comes Barno getting absolutely... I mean, the Browns got a great offensive line. It's not a good day to be down a pass rusher. Get a little pursuit here. Wow, right over top. This might be a run. Let's see if we can get Derek Brown plug up this side here. He does get off his blocks. We get a little bit of penetration. Doesn't matter. Nick Chubb's a monster. And just as everyone would have expected, fullback dive for the opening touchdown. That's how you start out, man. Chippy. Start out chippy. You run in the kicker on the extra point. You let him know you're pissed off. All right, now let's see what Baker Mayfield will do. If Jacoby Brissett can go 5 of 5, and let's be honest, outside of probably one pick in the preseason that was pretty bad, Baker felt pretty good. I'm confident right now in my ability, in Baker's ability, in this offense's ability to not turn the ball over. I think we can respond. First play, we're going to go to McCaffrey. 3 yards. Bit by bit, you know? Like stacking wood. 2nd and 7. Keeping it on the ground. We get pretty good blocking. I think McCaffrey could have been a little bit more patient behind Tommy Treble to get the first down, but it is 3rd and inches. And I think we have more than enough ability and push, as long as we avoid Myles Garrett, to move the chains here. Get the double team in the middle. Not a big game, but a first down. Keep it with McCaffrey. Man, we're just... It's not a power back. Just, oh, okay, slants. Coach is like, all right, we need a shot to the arm for this offense. 2nd and 7. Terrace Marshall, who probably established himself as our favorite wide receiver from the preseason. He could be looking pretty good right there. Quick read. Terrace Marshall across the middle of the field, and we're into Browns territory. Thank you for... We needed that. Thanks, Coach, for dialing up the slants. Oh, that gets blocked up. Very nice. Into the 2nd level, Christian McCaffrey. This is a weird play. Drag under, so it's like verts, except McCaffrey is supposed to be our outlet. We get popped, but Baker Mayfield, very tough. Able to make the play, gain of 10. There we go, good block again. McCaffrey, he's warming up. He's heating up. He's going to be a star for us. First goal. Also notice I forgot to switch the quarters to 12 minutes. I'll do that next week. Right trigger stuck. What is that? Is that a right trigger sign? Oh, okay. Getting close to 4 down territory here. But now the bad side is that we're so close that you just can't throw it here. So we're going to be very predictable. We got a Kwanu going against Myles Garrett. We're going to go right behind him. Zero push. That's, you know, that guard spot. We're talking about where we got to get stronger. Where I was looking for strengths in the drafts. Interior offensive line, non-existent, man. How does that happen? Call what the coach calls, man. We got to go for the field goal. At least we got points.
Fatality.
Jeremy Chin just gets thrown to the side like a child by Nick Chubb. I think our defense today is going to have to live by turnovers. We're going to have to hope they start throwing Bissett, and we can pop a fumble, pop an interception. What a play by Nick Chubb. How do you stop that? Yeah, it's going to be the linebackers here. I can't use her on the defensive line. I cannot get off any blocks right now. So maybe our best chance is just being maybe Brandon Smith or Shaq Thompson try to take away the middle of the field. And even then, man, it's
That's terrible.
We want to make them. I don't know, man. It's a bad matchup. Can I say? Like, look, you've seen every snap pretty much. Not one time have I had anybody get off their block. There we go. Tommy Tremble. It's close to the first down. 3rd and 1. We get a little bit of. That's the only problem with the 8 minutes. For how much we try to run the ball, how much they're running the ball. These quarters chew up really fast. Style up a screen pass to McCaffrey. Fringe field goal range, but we can't be thinking field goal. We have to be thinking touchdown. McCaffrey, it's a filthy juke move. Moves the chains. Baker Mayfield also 5 of 5. See if we get this one out quick to DJ Moore. Accurate throw. Hits a little bit of a stiff arm. Gain of 16. Go CMC quickly out the backfield. See if he can make a guy look like a fool. Not so much. Go Terrace Marshall at the sticks. Gets first down. Timeout. There we go. Temple makes the safe catch. Burn a timeout. We're up to the 4. All right, looking at this. We got more Tremble in the inside. Depends what those linebackers do. Man, I wish we had actually kept a running back. I could audible to a run. I feel like McCaffrey could stick with it. Oh, there we go. Tommy Tremble. I love the new passing mechanics. Able to pick the side because the linebacker is there. The old man, you just throw it. You don't know which side of the body. If that goes to Tremble's right, it's right by the linebacker. I was like, let's put it right here to the O. You can't do that in the last couple Madden games. And there's a big-time touchdown, a much-needed response for the Carolina Panthers. We got a end of half Hail Mary. I'm going to try to just see if I can get there with Shaq Thompson. Get stuff. Maybe can we get a nice little momentum-changing interception? Well, we got a PBU, and we go into halftime down 14-10. But I'm pretty sure we get the ball to start the second half. So for our game plan, I mean, running the ball has been efficient for us. I think let's work on throwing it at medium, though. We might have to air the ball out a little bit more because if the Browns continue with their game plan, they're going to be chewing up the clock. That's going to force us to have to throw it. And looking at inside-outside run, I've had a little bit more success on the outside, so let's focus on that and stopping Nick Chubb. But yes, we get the ball to start the second half. Let's get some points. Okay, we're getting a little aggressive here. Bailing from our run-first strategy. Let's see if we can surprise them with a throw. Maybe we can get Marshall on the outcut to the outside there. Or we'll just take the easy throw across the middle again. They keep giving it to us. We'll take it. We're 11 for 11 with Baker Mayfield right now. 3rd and 4. I'll tell you right now, if the easy throw there, if Robbie Anderson's just making that break across the middle of the field, or except he just doesn't run. What is that? Did he not hear the snap? Like he just, is there, I don't think there's a design delay on that. Maybe I'm glad he's on the trade block. Unreal. Like he had it, he was wide open. If he just ran that route regular, that's a first down. Drive continues. Didn't care. Didn't want to be out there, looked like. Okay, we got to do something about that. Nick Chubb and his 10.3 yards per carry. Not going to win a game with or without Robbie Anderson's lack of effort if you allow that to happen, especially to a running back as good as Nick Chubb. Man, just cannot do anything at the line of scrimmage. A complete domination by Wyatt Teller and Joel Bitonio, Jedrick Wills, everyone on that Browns offensive line. They are dominating right now. Didn't the Panthers have like the worst rushing defense last season? I'm feeling it right now. Like even Derek Brown's a stud. He's just getting mauled. There's nothing. Hey, Jacoby Brissett, sit back here, clean pocket, take all day, hit the open man. Rinse and repeat. Go with the slant to Amari Cooper. I don't know. They're executing their game. Our game plan was to stop the run. Like, look at that shot. I don't know. I'm speechless as far as our execution. We knew that they were going to do, and we literally can't do a damn thing about it. We go CMC out the backfield. If we make a guy miss, which he does. All right, 3rd and 4. I might have to overrule the coach if we don't get this and he wants to punt it. I'm saying right now, I'm looking at McCaffrey out the backfield. I think he can get away from number 5. I think that might be JOK, though. Let's go quickly to McCaffrey. Get into Browns territory. That worked out well. I'm going to have McCaffrey pass block. Oh, we can get to Marshall. It's close. I got to go for this. No. If this bites us in the ass, we can just say you should have trusted your coach. We got to just show a little bit of aggressiveness. More so from the fact that we cannot stop the Browns. We have got to get touchdowns.
Nope.
And this team sucks. This team is just overwhelmed at the line of scrimmage on both sides of the football on almost every play. Turnover on downs. It's been one of them days. I almost think this is the most important play of the game. We have got... I'm going to just watch Chubb. Wherever he goes, we go. They traded for Brandon Ayuk from the Niners, and they pick on our 5'10 corner. I'm not going to say dagger. We still got a whole 4th quarter to play, but it feels like it. Makes, like, just... And, like, 2 missed tackles. Go high, off their fullback. Not like that's Nick Chubb breaking tackles. That's their lowest rated guy that steps in the backfield. Just broke two tackles to get out of bounds. Around the goal line. I wonder what they're going to do here. What a monster. Way better than our players. Nick Chubb, what a beast. Like, literally, we had a free shot. Our linebacker had him right here. 57. Chance to make the play of the game, and just not an athlete. Gets rolled over. Might have to go back to Tremble here. I'll make sure that JOK doesn't sit back on this one. Oh, that's looking pretty good. Quick pass. Move the chains. Okay, finally we get press on DJ Moore. Can he win off press? Who has better jumping? Who has better jumping? That's PI! Flag in the end zone. Put that ball on the 1. Pass interference. Defense. It's a little bit of a pulse. There we go. If it wasn't for McCaffrey breaking almost 3 tackles, that wouldn't happen. But luckily, CMC gets us on the board. I feel like, relative to how long a quarters we're playing, I think it's still too early to say we go onside. We just got to gamble it. We could stop them. Years of timeouts. Get the ball. Touchdown onside. 3rd and 6. If we want any chance. Oh, we got pressure. Third and goal on the 2, a chance to... Yeah! A chance to hold them. Okay, Brandon Smith, I mean, he made contact, wasn't a complete tackle. But they'll be able to chew the clock, kick the field goal, at least we got a 1% chance. All right, we'll go no huddle. Garbage time is still time. It's not your day if McCaffrey's fumbling. It's just not your day. Your best player. If the best player on the field has a fumble and a do or die, it's just not your day. There we go. A little bit of a ball there. If you had to end the game that you were completely out of on a high note, if that's there, if that's something we're always going to have as an outlet, the deep ball, DJ Moore making a play like that, we can figure out the run defense. Or we can just not go against Nick Chubb and the Browns offensive line every week. At least there's been some positives here today. What a ball from Baker Mayfield. That's Denzel Ward. That's one of the top corners in the NFL. We just dunked on him. Fortunately, the Browns are able to run the best play in football. And, well, you know, there was few and far between, but I did see a couple comments saying, C4, why the Panthers? Seems like almost everyone loved the idea that we took the Panthers, which that is dope. But there was, oh, Panthers are too good. They're going to... There's a little bit of a humbling start. You would think Deshaun Watson not playing for the Browns, that we would have all the advantages, massive advantage. And I think we passed the ball well. We ran the ball. McCaffrey at 80 yards. No interceptions, no turnovers. We just could not do anything at the line of scrimmage. Offensively, when we needed a block to move the chains, we couldn't get it. Defensively, we needed to do at least offer up any form of resistance against Nick Chubb in that rushing offense. We did nothing, literally nothing. And this is kind of what we get. I mean, looking at the Browns, look at that: 133 yards for Nick Chubb, 7.3 yards per carry, 3 touchdowns. Stanton had one as well. You know, you had that dagger that they got to Amari Cooper. They got Brandon Ayuk in a trade, so that's a cool trade for them to make. But more so, looking at the Carolina Panthers, trying to find some positives. Baker Mayfield played well. 22 of 27, 234 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks, 81% completion percentage. I think a reason why this is high, slightly inflated, is because, you know, we had no offensive line. We had to get the ball up very quickly. We knew about that, though. We game planned for it. And he could have just as easily, you know, those quick throws, got picked off, got jumped by linebackers. He was good with his ball placement. McCaffrey was solid. We just, you know, when you get trailing from behind, you can't continue to establish a run. 80 yards and a touchdown for him. Did have that pretty bad fumble, which was annoying. He also had 7 catches, 51 yards. We had 7 catches, 39 yards, and a tutty for Tommy Tremble, 53 yards for Marshall, 24 yards for Anderson, 67 yards, and that highlight touchdown for DJ Moore to kind of close out the game. No pancakes. We didn't get sacked, so I guess, you know, in terms of pass pro, it was decent. Dante Jackson led the team with 8 tackles, 7 for Chin. We had literally our whole game plan to stop the run. 0 TFLs. We could not make a single play behind the line of scrimmage. That's the summary of the game right there. But hey, we beat them in the second quarter. That's important. That's a win. We were very good in the second quarter. We did hit one of our staff goals for this week, which was 300 yards of offense. So we did get 5 points there, 18 on the day. And right away, we can apply we got 32 points, get that 20 secret remedy to decrease the multi-week injury recovery time. So hopefully that shaves off a little bit of how many games we're going to miss of Brian Byrne. Desperately need him back, especially after that performance. Hey, look, it did. It cut his injury time in half. He had 4 games remaining. It is now down to 2. I don't know. What does that mean? Do we just give Brian Burns a bunch of Mexican supplements to shave off his recovery? His labrum's healing back. He's also gained 12 pounds of muscle. All right? No drug tests around the Panthers facility, though, for the next month, please. Now the fallout from a disappointing game is all of these delicious one-on-one interactions. Yeah, you know, good effort. No booster coming our way. Cue to victory. Oh, what was that? What did we try to stop again today? It wasn't Jacoby Brissett. No, it was, oh yeah, Nick Chubb. And we utterly failed in that department as well. And rolling into what we are facing in the next episode, we have on the road the Giants, and then we're going to have that Week 3 game at home against the Saints. Not looking too far ahead, this Giants matchup, 76 overall. It's going to be one of the more winnable games on paper that we are going to see this season. And if we get skunked in this one, it's going to kind of foreshadow maybe the struggles that we have for the remainder of the year. But, you know, we feel confident. Now, I will say, you get ripped up week 1 by Nick Chubb. Then you got Saquon Barkley on deck. And then after that, you got Alvin Kamara on deck. I'm a little bit worried, but, you know, not the same offensive lines. Maybe they won't be able to dominate the line of scrimmage like they did. Or maybe they will. I don't know what we're going to have in store, but that will be for the next episode. Kind of looking at what has popped up here. We have a trade offer rolling in for Robbie Anderson. We'll use that to kick off the next episode. Surprised, really, that there's nothing coming for Sam Darnold. Maybe we explore manually some trades. If you guys have any ideas, any suggestions, nothing ridiculous. I had people saying, oh, I did the Panthers and I was able to trade Sam Darnold for a second-round pick to the Steelers. Give me something that we could actually, like, live with ourselves trying to trade. If there's a team, there's a trade you can kind of, you know, create in your head that we should try to explore here for Sam Darnold, we will do that at the kickoff of the next episode. But thank you guys for tuning in. If it is your first time stopping by, you like what you saw here today, there's only more of that coming for the Madden 23 season. So hit that subscribe button. I'm setting lofty goals. Probably not going to hit it, but if you know, it's goal's a goal. If you don't hit it, it's not the end of the world. I would love to hit 200,000 subscribers here in this Madden 23 season. We've been at it for 10 years now. You know, eventually we're going to pop up. You guys are doing your part. You're leaving comments. You're smashing likes. The YouTube robots seem to be helping my videos out a little bit. So keep on keeping on with that. Again, we set our like goals. 1,000 likes on today's video. And we will have a rebuild that drops tomorrow that might feature a former Philadelphia Eagle head coach. And we get 2,000 likes, as I said at the beginning of the video. I'll make a little bit of an investment to the Panthers franchise, you know, face cam here. And we'll get the Baker Mayfield sweatband. We'll get the Baker Mayfield action goggles that add +5 throw power to just my skill. So, you know, Canadian dollar sucks, so that's a big investment. So if you get that 2,000 likes, and let me know that, you know, you guys are really vibing with it. Again, the Panthers theme song will be dropping August 22nd. I will be posting the links when that stuff goes live on my Twitter. And actually, because of when this video is coming out, I still think we have a Madden giveaway. PlayStation and Xbox codes on Saturday. I'm going to be picking winners Friday night, which does nothing for you guys right now, but I'll also be picking winners on Saturday. So go give me a follow on Twitter, check out that post, and get your hands on Madden 23. That will do it for me today, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff. But more so, thank you just for watching. I appreciate it. And I'll see you on the next one. Peace out.